Kate was 30 years old with brown hair and a strong build from years of working on her family's farm. She had always felt different from others in town, always looking at the stars, wondering what might exist beyond Earth. Now the answer hovered. Above her, a beam of light shot down from the ship, touching the ground only meters from where Kate stood. She did not move as a figure began to form within the light. The alien that stepped forward was tall, almost 7 feet, with blue skin that seemed to glow slightly. 4 arms emerged from a slender torso. The face was almost human, with large eyes that looked like pools of silver. Kate took a deep breath and raised her hand in greeting. "Hello," she said, her voice steadier than she expected. The alien tilted its head, studying her, then raised one of its 4 hands, mimicking her gesture. It touched something on a band around its wrist and spoke. Words came out, but not in any language. Kate recognized. Then a mechanical voice followed. "Greetings, human. I am Commander Lyria of the Zentari fleet." Kate swallowed. "You speak English?" "Not exactly," the alien replied. "The device translates." "We have studied your broadcasts for many cycles." Kate nodded, trying to process this information. "Why are you here?" The alien seemed to consider the question. "We seek knowledge," the translation device said after a moment. "We study species across the galaxy. Yours has shown remarkable development in a short time." Kate looked up at the massive ship. "Others will have seen you, yes," Lyria said. "The time for secrecy has ended. We wish to establish formal contact with your leaders." Before Kate could respond, lights appeared on the road and sirens wailed in the distance. Someone had called the authorities. Lyria looked toward the sounds. "This was expected," she said. "Will you help us, Kate?" Adams Kate was startled that the alien knew her name. "How did you? We have observed your settlement," Lyria explained. "You showed no fear when our ship appeared. This suggests you may serve as an effective intermediary." The sirens grew louder. They were coming closer. Kate made a quick decision. "Yes," she said, "I will help." Lyria nodded and handed Kate a small device like a smooth stone. "Keep this with you," she said. "It will allow us to communicate." She stepped back into the light beam and vanished. The ship remained hovering silently. Minutes later, 3 police cars pulled up in front of Kate's house. Officers emerged, weapons drawn, as they stared up at the alien vessel. Police Chief Mills approached Kate, who still stood in her garden. "Kate, what is that thing?" he asked, his voice tense. "It's a ship from another world," Kate replied. "They want to talk to our leaders." Mills looked at her as if she had lost her mind. "How do you know that?" "Because I spoke with one of them," Kate said. She held up the small device Lyria gave her. "They gave me this to communicate." Mills reached for his radio. "We need state police here," he said, "and call the governor. This is beyond us." Within hours, Kate's small town was overrun with officials. Military vehicles blocked the roads. News helicopters circled at a distance, held back by the no-fly zone that had been established. The alien ship remained in position above the town, seemingly unconcerned by the activity below. Kate was taken to the town hall, which had been converted into a command center. She sat at a long table surrounded by military officers, government officials, and scientists. They all wanted to know about her encounter with Lyria. "I told you everything," Kate said after repeating her story for the 3rd time. "They want peaceful contact." A stern-looking woman in a military uniform leaned forward. "How do we know this isn't the beginning of an invasion? Because if they wanted to attack us, they could have done it already," Kate replied. "They have technology far beyond ours." A scientist with glasses spoke next. "Have you used the communication device they gave you?" Kate shook her head. "No. I was waiting." "For what?" another official asked. "For you," Kate said. "For us to decide together what to say." The room fell silent. Then a man in a suit who had been introduced as a representative from the White House nodded. "Try it." "Now," he said, "let them know we're ready to talk." Kate took a deep breath and held the smooth stone device in her palm. It felt warm to the touch. "Lyria," she said. "This is Kate. Our leaders are here and want to speak with you." The stone glowed with soft light. A holographic image of Lyria appeared above it, hovering in the air. Everyone in the room gasped. "Greetings, representatives of Earth." Lyria's voice came through clearly. "We are pleased you wish to establish dialogue." The White House representative stepped forward. "I am authorized to speak on behalf of the United States government." He began. Lyria raised one. "Of her 4 hands, I must clarify," she said. "We wish to speak with representatives of your entire world, not single nations. Our contact must be with humanity as a whole." The officials exchanged glances. "This complicates things." The White House man said. "Kate," spoke up. "Why have you come now? Why reveal yourselves?" Lyria turned her silver eyes toward Kate. "Your world stands at a crucial point in development," she explained. "You have advanced technology, yet continue to fight among yourselves. You are close to developing faster than light travel, yet still struggle with climate change and resource distribution. We believe contact with other civilizations might help you overcome these challenges. Before you expand into the galaxy." The military woman leaned forward. "Are there others out there?" "Like you," many, Lyria replied. "The galaxy holds thousands of intelligent species, some ancient, some young like yours. The Zentari serve as intermediaries, helping new species join the galactic community over the next hours." Officials asked questions about Zentari technology, their intentions, their homeworld. Lyria answered patiently, explaining that the Zentari came from a star system hundreds of light years from Earth. They had been exploring space for thousands of years. As dawn approached, Lyria made an announcement. "I must return to my ship," she said. "Rest and consider what we have discussed. In 3 of your days, we will meet again. This time we will bring representatives from the Galactic Council." The hologram disappeared. The stone in Kate's hand stopped glowing. She looked up at the officials who were already deep in discussion about what had happened. The world changed that night. News of the alien contact spread globally. Some people panicked. Others celebrated. Religious leaders offered varied interpretations of the event. Scientists analyzed every word Lyria had shared. Kate found herself at the center of it all. She had become the face of first contact. Her life would never be the same. As she looked out, the window of the town hall at the alien ship still hovering in the sky, she wondered what would happen when the Galactic Council arrived. 3 days did not seem like enough time for humanity to prepare for such a meeting. But perhaps it was better this way. No time for politicians to play their usual games, no time for power struggles. Just the simple truth that humanity was not alone and had to come together to face this new reality. Kate touched the stone in her pocket and felt a strange mix of fear and hope. The universe had just become much larger, and humanity's place in it was about to be determined. "Now I'll create part 2 for you." 3 days passed. In a blur of activity, the small town had transformed into an international hub. Government officials from around the world arrived in a steady stream. Scientists set up equipment to monitor the alien ship. Media crews camped at the perimeter, reporting the historic event to billions of viewers worldwide. Kate barely slept. She had been moved to a secure location, a large house requisitioned by the government. She was now considered the primary contact with the aliens, a role she never imagined for herself. On the morning of the 3rd day, Kate stood in front of a mirror, studying her reflection. Government officials had suggested she wear formal clothes for the meeting with the Galactic Council. She had chosen a simple blue dress instead. She wanted to appear as herself, not as someone trying to impress. A knock on the door interrupted her thoughts. A tall woman with short gray hair entered Kate. "This is Dr. Mira Chen," the military liaison said. "She will brief you before the meeting." Dr. Chen smiled warmly at Kate. "You have been thrust into quite a position," she said. Kate nodded. "I never asked for this. No one ever asks for history to find them," Dr. Chen replied. "But here we are." They sat at a small table while Dr. Chen explained what would happen. The meeting would take place in a large tent set up in the field beneath the alien ship. Representatives from major world governments would attend, along with scientists, military personnel, and religious leaders. Kate would facilitate the initial contact. What do they want? Kate asked the question that had been bothering her since the first meeting. Dr. Chen looked thoughtful. That's what we need to find out. She said friendly species might want cultural exchange or trade. Hostile ones would have attacked already. But there are many possibilities between those extremes. Is that why the military has surrounded the town? Kate asked. She had noticed the increasing number of soldiers and equipment. Just a precaution, Dr. Chen said. We hope for the best but prepare for all scenarios. At noon, Kate was escorted to the meeting site. The field was now dominated by a massive white tent with open sides. Inside, a large circular table had been arranged with chairs for all the delegates. The alien ship hovered directly above, casting a shadow over the area. World leaders and their representatives were already seated. Kate recognized many faces from television. The President of the United States nodded to her as she entered. The Chinese Premier studied her with interest. The Secretary General of the United Nations gestured to an empty seat beside him. Before Kate could sit, the air seemed to vibrate. A column of light appeared in the center of the circle, brighter than before. Several figures materialized within it. Lyria stepped forward. First, Kate, she said. It is good to see you again. Kate smiled. Hello, Lyria. The alien gestured to the beings beside her. I present representatives of the Galactic Council. Kate stared in amazement. The other aliens were even more exotic than Lyria. One resembled a tall insect with multiple limbs and compound eyes. Another appeared almost like a cloud of light held in roughly humanoid shape. A third stood on 4 legs with a torso that rose vertically, supporting a head with 3 eyes, arranged in a triangle. I am Speaker Vox of the Galactic Council, the insect. Like being said, its voice translated into a deep, resonant tone. We come in peace, seeking dialogue with your species. The UN Secretary General stood. Welcome to Earth, honored guests. He said, we represent the nations of our world and are pleased to establish contact with the galactic community. The meeting began formally with introductions. The alien representatives explained that the Galactic Council included over 500 species from across the Milky Way. They had been observing Earth for centuries, watching human development. Why reveal yourselves now? The U.S. President asked. The time was right. Speaker Vox replied, your technology has advanced to a critical stage. You are nearly capable of faster-than-light travel. Once that happens, you will encounter other species. It is better that this first contact happen in a controlled manner. The Chinese premier leaned forward. What do you want from us? Understanding, the cloudy figure said, its voice sounding like wind chimes. We seek to understand your culture, your art, your philosophy. Each species brings new perspectives to the council resources. Another world leader asked suspiciously. The third alien, the one with 3 eyes, made a sound like laughter. Your planet has nothing we need, it said through the translator. We have access to thousands of worlds, many uninhabited, with resources far easier to obtain than those on your crowded planet. Then what? Kate asked. The question had been bothering her since the beginning. What? Does Earth have that interest you? Lyria turned her silver eyes to Kate. Potential. She said simply, you humans are unique in our experience. You develop rapidly, adapt quickly, and show remarkable creativity. Even your conflicts, while regrettable, demonstrate your passion. Speaker Vox moved forward. You stand at a crossroads. Your technology has outpaced your social development. You have weapons that could destroy your civilization, yet still fight over resources and beliefs. The Council believes contact with other species might help you gain perspective. Is this an invitation to join your council? The UN Secretary General asked. Not yet, the cloudy being replied. You are not ready for full membership, but we offer a partnership. A cultural exchange, knowledge, sharing, limited technology transfer. What knowledge, what technology? The Russian president demanded. Speaker Vox raised a limb. Medical advances. Clean energy. Better food production. We will not provide weapons or technology that could destabilize your world. Kate watched the human leaders exchange glances. She could see calculation in their eyes, each wondering how their nation might benefit, and what do we offer in return. Kate asked. Lyria seemed pleased by the question. Your art, your music, your literature, she replied. Your species creates beauty in ways we find fascinating, and your different cultures provide new ways of thinking. The meeting continued for hours as details were discussed. The aliens proposed establishing embassies in major cities around the world. They would provide representatives to teach humans about galactic history, science, and culture. In return, they requested permission for their scholars to study human society. Not all the human leaders were convinced. Some worried about hidden agendas, others saw opportunities for advancement. A few seemed genuinely excited about the possibilities. As the sun began to set, Speaker Vox raised his limbs. We will give you time to discuss among yourselves, he said. When you have reached consensus, contact us through the device we provided to Kate Adams. With that, the alien stepped back into the column of light and vanished. The ship remained hovering above, silently watching. The human leaders immediately began arguing. Some wanted to accept the offer immediately, others called for caution. Several military leaders suggested demanding more advanced technology. Kate sat quietly watching. When the arguments grew heated, she finally spoke. They could have conquered us if they wanted to. Aang, said, her voice cutting through the noise. They have technology beyond anything we can imagine, but they came peacefully offering knowledge. They spoke of potential, not resources. The room fell silent. Perhaps Kate continued. We should consider what this means for all of us. Not just our separate nations, but for humanity. Our children will grow up knowing we are not alone in the universe. Isn't that worth more than whatever advantage one country might gain over another? The UN Secretary General nodded. Slowly, Kate is right, he said. This is bigger than national interests. This is about our species, our future. As night fell, the leaders agreed to continue discussions in the coming days, but the tone had shifted from suspicion toward cautious optimism. Kate looked up at the alien ship still hovering above them and felt a strange sense of peace. The universe had opened its doors, and humanity stood on the threshold, ready to step through into something new. Now, I'll create Part 3. So Sci-Fi Story Part 3. Type, text markdown, title. Part 3. 1 month after first contact, the world had changed in ways no one could have predicted. Zentari ships now hovered above 12 major cities around the globe. Embassies had been established. Alien representatives walked among humans, sharing knowledge and studying Earth culture. Kate had become an official liaison between humans and the Galactic Council. Her small-town life was a distant memory now. She divided her time between meetings with world leaders and sessions with the aliens learning about life beyond Earth today. She sat in a garden at the newly established Galactic Embassy in Washington, D.C. Lyria, beside her. They had become friends over the weeks since first contact. Most humans are adapting well. Lyria observed, watching people taking pictures with a Zentari scientist nearby. Some still fear us, but curiosity seems stronger. Kate nodded. It's a lot to process. Our entire understanding of the universe has changed. But people are resilient. Lyria made the sound Kate now recognized as laughter. Your species continues to surprise us, she said. Through our observations, we expected more resistance, more fear. There is fear, Kate admitted, but also hope. The medical knowledge you've shared has already saved lives. The clean energy technology is revolutionary. Lyria turned her silver eyes to Kate. Tomorrow you will meet the council eldest, she said. This is a great honor. Few humans have been invited to the mothership. Kate felt a flutter of nervousness in her stomach. Why me? You were first, Lyria said simply. You showed courage when others might have run, wisdom when others might have reacted with violence. The eldest is curious about you. The next morning, Kate stood on the White House lawn, where a small Zentari shuttle waited. The president himself had come to see her off. Remember, you're representing all of humanity, now he said with a smile. No pressure. Kate laughed. Despite the extraordinary circumstances, she had maintained her sense of humor. It kept her grounded when everything else seemed surreal. The shuttle ride was smooth. The craft rose silently into the sky, passing through clouds until Earth spread out below, blue and beautiful. Kate pressed her face to the window, taking in the sight of her home planet from space, something few humans had experienced beyond Earth orbit. The massive mothership waited. It dwarfed anything humans had built, a city in space, housing representatives from hundreds of worlds. Kate felt a momentary panic at the scale of it all. The shuttle docked smoothly. Lyria led Kate through corridors where beings of all descriptions moved about their business. Some resembled nothing. Kate could have imagined life taking forms beyond human conception, yet all seemed to coexist peacefully. They arrived at a large chamber with walls that seemed to shimmer with stars. A single figure waited there, seated on a simple platform. The eldest was not what Kate expected. Not large or imposing, but small almost. Fragile-looking, with skin like pale paper, and eyes that seemed ancient and wise. "Welcome, Kate Adams of Earth," the eldest said, its voice soft but clear without need of translation. "You honor us with your presence." Kate bowed slightly, as Lyria had instructed. "The honor is mine," she replied. "Please sit," the eldest gestured to a cushion nearby. "Tell me about your world from your perspective, not official reports or scientific data, but your experience." Kate sat and began to speak. She told the eldest about growing up on a farm, about looking at stars as a child and wondering what might exist beyond Earth. She spoke of human struggles and triumphs, of art and music and love. The eldest listened without interruption. When Kate finished, it was silent for a moment. "Your species is young," the eldest finally said, "yet you have accomplished much in a short time. You create beautiful things, even amid conflict and struggle. This is rare." "Thank you," Kate said, not sure how else to respond. The eldest leaned forward slightly. "I have lived for over 900 of your years," it said. "I have watched civilizations rise and fall, seen species join the council and others destroy themselves. I have learned to recognize patterns." Kate waited, sensing there was more. "Your species stands at a pivotal moment," the eldest continued. "You have the capacity for great creation and great destruction. The next century will determine which path you follow. Is that why you contacted us?" Kate asked. "To help us choose the right path," the eldest made a gesture Kate couldn't interpret. "Not to choose for you, but to show you possibilities. The council does not interfere directly. That is our highest law. But we can offer guidance to those who seek it." Kate thought about Earth, the conflicts that still raged, despite the incredible revelation that humanity was not alone. Some nations embraced the alien presence. Others remained suspicious. Some religious groups declared the aliens demons. Others saw them as angels. Some corporations sought to profit from new technology. Others worked to block its distribution. "We are complicated," Kate admitted. "All intelligent life is complicated," the eldest said with what might have been a smile. "That is what makes the galaxy interesting." The conversation continued for hours. The eldest shared stories of other worlds, other species, their struggles and triumphs. Kate felt her perspective shifting, expanding beyond Earth, beyond human concerns, to something larger. As their meeting concluded, the eldest presented Kate with a small crystal. It glowed with soft inner light. "This contains knowledge," it explained. "Star maps, histories of council worlds, scientific principles beyond your current understanding. It is our gift to you. Use it wisely." Kate accepted, the crystal feeling its warmth against her palm. "I will," she promised. During the shuttle ride back to Earth, Kate sat quietly watching her planet grow larger in the viewport. The crystal the eldest had given her rested in her pocket. She wondered what secrets it contained and how humanity would use them. Lyria broke the silence. "What did you think of the eldest?" Kate considered the question. "It knows so much, has seen so much. I felt like a child talking to a wise grandparent." Lyria nodded. "The eldest has guided the council through many crises. Its wisdom is respected throughout the galaxy." Kate turned to her alien friend. "Can I ask you something personal?" "Of course," Lyria said. "Why did you choose me that first night?" "There were others watching your ship." Lyria was quiet for a moment. "When we observe a new species, we look for certain qualities," she finally said. Courage without recklessness, curiosity without carelessness, compassion without weakness. You showed these qualities. Your mind was open. Your heart was not ruled by fear. Kate looked back at Earth growing larger in the window. So much responsibility had been placed on her shoulders. She was just one woman from a small town now involved in shaping humanity's relationship with the galaxy. When they landed at the White House, officials waited to debrief her. The President, the Secretary General of the UN, scientists and military leaders all wanted to know what the eldest had said, what she had learned. Kate answered their questions, but kept the crystal hidden for now. She needed time to understand it before sharing its contents. Some knowledge needed to be introduced carefully. That night, alone in her apartment, Kate held the crystal up to the light. It began to glow brighter, responding to her touch. Holographic images formed in the air above it. Star systems, strange worlds, mathematical equations beyond her understanding. A voice spoke from the crystal, not the elders, but something different. This is the beginning. It said, not an end, Kate. Watch the images change, flowing like water, showing possibilities, futures that might come to pass. She saw Earth ships traveling between stars, humans working alongside aliens exploring the galaxy. She saw great cities floating in space gardens, spreading across once barren planets. She also saw warnings. Worlds burned by war, civilizations collapsed by greed, species extinct through their own actions. The choice is always present. The voice from the crystal said creation or destruction, progress or decline, unity or division. Kate stood at her window looking up at the stars, now knowing what existed among them. The future was not set, but for the first time humanity did not face it alone. She made a decision. The crystal contained knowledge that belonged to everyone, not just powerful nations or wealthy corporations. Tomorrow she would begin sharing its contents carefully, starting with the scientific principles that could help heal Earth's environment. Then medical knowledge to cure diseases. The stars seemed brighter somehow, Kate thought. Or perhaps she just saw them differently now, knowing what waited beyond now. For Part 4. 6 months after first contact, changes were sweeping across Earth. Centauri technology had revolutionized medicine, energy production, and agriculture. Diseases once thought incurable were being treated. Environmental damage was slowly being reversed. Global hunger was declining. Not everyone welcomed these changes. Some governments restricted access to alien knowledge, fearing loss of control. Religious extremists claimed the aliens were corrupting humanity. Corporations, whose profits depended on old technologies, lobbied against the new. Kate stood at the center of this storm, using the knowledge from the crystal to guide which technologies were shared. And when she worked with scientists from around the world, translating complex alien concepts into terms humans could understand today, she was in a hospital in Nairobi, watching as doctors used Centauri medical technology to treat children with formerly terminal illnesses. The parents wept with joy as children who had been given weeks to live ran and played in the hospital garden. This is what matters, Kate thought. This is why the council contacted us. A young doctor approached her. Dr. Adams, she said, the treatment protocols you've shared have revolutionized our work. We can help people. We could only comfort. Before Kate smiled, pleased, but also aware of the responsibility. Such power to heal also meant power to harm. Some nations were already attempting to weaponize Centauri science. Her communication device chimed. Lyria was calling. Kate stepped away to answer. We have a situation, Lyria said, her voice tense. The Council has detected unauthorized attempts to access restricted technology in several locations, military applications. Beyond what we agreed to share, Kate sighed. This was always a risk, she said. Which countries not? Countries, Lyria corrected, private organizations working across borders. Some with government connections. Kate felt a chill. These groups had somehow obtained Centauri knowledge not yet cleared for sharing. They were developing weapons technologies. The Council had specifically withheld. The Council is concerned, Lyria continued. Some members suggest withdrawing from Earth until your species shows more responsibility. No, Kate said quickly. That would only make things worse. The knowledge that exists can't be unshared. Leaving would abandon those working for progress. Lyria was silent for a moment. I agree, she finally said. But we must address this. Breach, Kate thought quickly. We need to identify these groups and expose their activities. She said, Can the council help locate them, Lyria? Nodded. We have been monitoring unusual energy signatures consistent with misuse of our technology. I am sending coordinates now. Over the next weeks, Kate worked with international authorities tracking down the rogue operations. They found secret laboratories hidden in remote locations funded by shadowy consortiums of wealthy individuals, military contractors, and fringe political groups. Each raid revealed more disturbing developments. Attempts to create advanced weapons experiments combining Zentari technology with Earth weaponry. Plans for controlling or disrupting alien systems after a particularly dangerous operation in the mountains of a neutral country. Kate sat exhausted in a makeshift command center. We shut this one down, she told Lyria via communication link, but there are more. And they're getting better at hiding. Lyria's holographic form nodded. The council is divided, she said. Some believe we should never have contacted Earth, others argue we must continue engagement to guide humanity through this transition. What do you think? Kate asked. Lyria seemed to consider. I believe in potential, she said. Your species is capable of greatness, despite these setbacks. Kate smiled gratefully, then her expression grew serious. There's something I need to tell you, she said. One of the scientists we captured said something disturbing. He claimed some governments are secretly supporting these operations while publicly condemning them. Playing both sides, Lyria was not surprised. Political entities often pursue multiple strategies, she said. Even contradictory ones. Kate stood and paced the room. I trusted these leaders, she said. I convinced the council to trust them. You acted in good faith, Lyria said. But power structures on your world are complex. Competing interests exist within single governments. Kate stopped pacing. No more, she said firmly. No more selective sharing. No more gradual introduction of technology. What are you suggesting? Lyria asked. The crystal, Kate said. The eldest gave it to me for a reason. It contains knowledge that belongs to all humanity, not just governments or corporations. I'm going to release it. All of it. Lyria's hologram showed concern. This would be unprecedented. A full technology transfer could destabilize your world. Kate shook her head. Keeping secrets has already destabilized us, she argued. The powerful are accessing this knowledge anyway while others suffer. I trust ordinary people more than those who seek power. Lyria was silent for a long moment. The council will not approve, she finally said. Such an action violates our protocols for contact with developing worlds. I'm not asking for permission, Kate said. Her voice softened. I'm asking for understanding. The next day, Kate addressed the world through a global broadcast. Her face appeared on screens in homes, offices, public squares, and refugee camps. From the International Space Station to remote villages, people watched and listened. Citizens of Earth, she began. I speak to you directly today, not through governments or institutions. The knowledge shared by the Galactic Council was meant to benefit all humanity, to help us grow beyond conflict and scarcity. She held up the crystal given to her by the eldest. This contains scientific, medical, and environmental knowledge centuries beyond our current understanding. It was entrusted to me, but it does not belong to me, or to any nation, corporation, or elite group. It belongs to humanity. Kate explained how some groups had already accessed and misused alien technology, how governments that claimed to represent people's interests were pursuing their own agendas beginning. Today, she continued, all information from this crystal will be available freely to everyone everywhere. Technical specifications, medical protocols, environmental restoration techniques, energy production methods. All of it. She looked directly into the camera. This decision is mine alone. The Galactic Council did not authorize it. Many will call it reckless. But I believe in humanity. I believe when given the choice between creation and destruction, most people choose creation. Between progress and decline, most choose progress. Between unity and division, most choose unity. The broadcast ended. The crystal's contents were uploaded to thousands of servers worldwide, translated into every major language. In seconds, the information spread beyond any possibility of containment. The immediate reaction was chaos. Stock markets plummeted as technologies worth trillions became suddenly worthless. Governments demanded Kate's arrest. Security agencies worldwide went on high alert. Religious leaders called emergency councils. The United Nations convened an emergency session. Lyria found Kate on the roof of her apartment building watching the sunset. "You have changed everything," the alien said. "I know," Kate replied. "I may have doomed humanity, or saved. It will see." Lyria sat beside her. "The council is divided," she said. "Some call for immediate withdrawal from Earth. Others argue we must stay to help manage the transition." Her silver eyes studied Kate. "Your species continually surprises us. Is that good or bad?" Kate asked with a small smile. Lyria made her laughing sound. "Neither, both. The unexpected is both frightening and wonderful." In the days that followed, people worldwide began exploring the crystal's knowledge. Universities established emergency research centers to study and implement its contents. Grassroots organizations formed to apply new technologies to local problems. Open-source communities adapted alien concepts to Earth conditions. There was damage too. Attempts to weaponize the AI, knowledge accidents from misunderstood principles, religious backlash against concepts that challenged traditional beliefs, economic disruption as entire industries became obsolete overnight. But something unexpected happened as well. Faced with knowledge that transcended national, religious, and economic boundaries, many people began to see themselves differently. The crystal contained not just technology, but history, philosophy, art, from thousands of worlds, stories of species that had faced challenges similar to humanity's and overcome them. 2 weeks after the broadcast, Kate stood before the Galactic Council aboard the mothership. The chamber was filled with representatives from hundreds of worlds. Some angry, others curious, all focused on the human who had broken protocol. "You took an unprecedented action." Speaker Vox said, his insect form looming over her. "You shared knowledge reserved for gradual introduction. Our protocols exist for good reasons, developed over thousands of years of contact with new species." Kate stood straight. "I stand by my decision," she said. "Every being deserves access to knowledge that can heal, save lives, restore environments. No one has the right to withhold it." The cloudy being moved forward. "Your action was either incredibly wise or incredibly foolish," it said. "Perhaps both. The effects will not be known for generations." Kate nodded. "I accept that responsibility." The eldest, who had remained silent, raised a hand. The chamber quieted. This human acted according to her conscience, it said. "Is this not what we value in sentient beings? The courage to follow their deepest principles, even at great personal risk." The council murmured, some in agreement, others in disagreement. The eldest continued. "We contacted Earth because this species showed potential for growth, for creation, for compassion. Kate Adams has demonstrated these qualities. Even in breaking our rules, she did so, not for personal gain, but from belief in her species." Kate looked at the assembled aliens, feeling both small before their ancient wisdom and strengthened by her conviction. "We will not abandon Earth," the eldest declared. "We will remain engaged, helping guide this transition. Humanity must find its own path, but we need not leave them to walk it alone." As Kate returned to Earth, she looked down at her home planet. The crystal's knowledge was spreading, changing everything. But the future remained unwritten. Humanity would decide what to do with this gift, for good or ill, and Kate would be there watching, hoping that her faith in people had not been misplaced. Finally, here's part 5. 1 year after Kate released the crystal's knowledge to the world, Earth was transforming in ways both wonderful and terrifying. Cities gleamed with new architecture, incorporating Zentari principles of harmony and sustainability. Hospitals reported miracle cures using alien medical techniques. Deserts bloomed with engineered plants that purified soil and air. But chaos existed alongside progress. Some regions, descended into conflict as power structures collapsed. Others thrived as communities embraced new possibilities. The old order was breaking down a new one, struggling to emerge. Kate stood on the balcony of the United Nations building in New York, looking out over the city. Centauri's ships hovered above like silent guardians. The streets below teemed with humans and aliens walking together. Earth had become a focal point of galactic interest, a living experiment in rapid technological and social evolution. Lyria approached, joining her at the railing. "The council session begins soon," she said. "Are you prepared?" Kate nodded. "As well as I can." 1 year ago, the Galactic Council had been divided over Kate's decision to release all alien knowledge. To humanity today, they would vote on Earth status, whether to continue engagement, expand it, or withdraw. The chamber was filled when they arrived. Representatives from 500 worlds attended in person or via hologram. Kate took her place at the center, feeling the weight of billions of lives resting on what happened here. Speaker Vox rose to address the assembly. "One solar cycle has passed since unprecedented full knowledge transfer to Earth," he stated. "We gather to evaluate outcomes and determine future relations." Images appeared in the air above scenes from Earth, both inspiring and disturbing. New cities rising, clean and efficient refugee camps where displaced people struggled as old economies collapsed. Healing centers where the dying found new life. Militia groups who rejected alien influence fighting against change. "The data speaks in multiple directions." Vox continued. "Technology adoption exceeds all historical precedent for contacted species. Social disruption likewise exceeds norms." The cloudy being Kate now knew as Messenger drifted forward. Yet casualties from conflict remain below projected models, it noted, and cooperation between human communities shows unexpected patterns. Creative adaptation exceeds all predictive models. Kate listened as council members debated. Some argued Earth was descending into chaos. Others pointed to remarkable achievements. Human scientific teams working with alien knowledge had already made innovations that surprised even the Galactic Council. Artists and philosophers created works that blended human emotion with alien perspectives. When the debate paused, the eldest turned to Kate. "The council would hear from you," it said. "You who set these events in motion." Kate stood and looked around at the assembled representatives. "I cannot defend every outcome," she began. "Suffering exists alongside wonder, conflict alongside cooperation. But I can tell you this: humanity faced these same challenges before contact. Greed, fear, hatred, division. The difference now is that we also have new tools for creation, healing, and understanding." She gestured to the images still hanging in the air. "For every scene of struggle, there is one of triumph. For every moment of darkness, one of light." The crystals. Knowledge did not create humanity's problems. It simply accelerated both our challenges and our solutions. Kate walked slowly around the chamber, making eye contact with different representatives. "I stand before you not claiming humanity is perfect, or that my decision was without fault. But I ask you to judge us not by our worst moments but by our potential. The potential the council itself saw when it chose to contact us." She stopped before the eldest. 1 year is nothing in the life of a species. 1 year cannot tell you what humanity will become, but it can show you who we are. A complicated, conflicted species capable of both tremendous harm and tremendous good. We stumble, we fall, we rise again. The chamber was silent when she finished. The eldest nodded thoughtfully. "Your words have wisdom," it said. "Now the council will vote." Kate waited as the representatives cast their votes. The decision would determine Earth's relationship with the galaxy for generations to come. Finally, Speaker Vox announced the result. The council has decided to expand engagement with Earth. Humanity will be granted provisional associate status. Access to council resources for peaceful development will increase. Zentari presence on Earth will expand to assist with transition. Kate felt relief wash over her. Earth would not be abandoned. "There are conditions," Vox continued. "A galactic oversight committee will monitor weapons development, any species threatening aggression. Beyond their homeworld faces council intervention." Fair enough. Kate thought humanity needed boundaries as it grew into its new power. The eldest approached her after the session ended. "You have guided your species through difficult waters," it said. But the journey is just beginning. I know, Kate replied. The hard part comes now. Building something new from the ruins of the old, the eldest made a gesture Kate recognized as agreement. Change is always painful, it said, but necessary for growth. 3 months later, Kate stood in the newly constructed Galactic Embassy in what had once been the Sahara Desert. The massive complex served as Earth's official connection to the Council. Around it, a city had sprung up where humans and aliens lived and worked together. The desert was blooming, plants engineered with alien biology purified the soil and air, creating a green oasis where once there had been only sand rivers flowed, where none had existed for thousands of years. Nearby, a school had opened, where human children learned alongside young aliens. Exchange students from 50 worlds shared knowledge and culture. The next generation would grow up seeing the galaxy as their community. Not just Earth. Not everyone approved. Resistance movements still existed. Some religious groups claimed alien influence corrupted human souls. Some nations maintained strict borders, refusing council contact. Some corporations and power brokers worked to control alien technology for profit. But they were increasingly marginalized as the benefits of galactic integration became clear. Disease, poverty, and environmental degradation were retreating. Human lifespans extended. Quality of life improved. Conflicts over resources diminished as scarcity became obsolete. Kate walked through the garden of the embassy, greeting humans and aliens alike. She was no longer the official liaison. That role had been formalized into a council of representatives from Earth's nations and cultures. Kate had stepped back, preferring to work directly with communities implementing new technologies. Lyria found her sitting by a fountain watching children play. Your world is changing quickly. The alien observed. Too quickly for some, Kate replied. Not quickly enough for others. Lyria made her laughing sound. Always in a hurry, your species. Kate smiled. The crystal's knowledge had changed everything but human nature. Remained human nature with all its flaws and virtues, its capacity for love and hate, for creation and destruction. That was the one thing no alien technology could redesign. A small girl approached them shyly. She carried a flower she had picked. Miss Kate, she said, I made something for you. Kate knelt to the child's level. What is it? Mira. The girl held out a small device that hummed softly. It's a miniature atmospheric purifier, she explained. I used the designs from the crystal but made it smaller, so people can carry them. Kate examined the device, impressed by the innovation. The girl couldn't be more than 10 years old, yet she understood principles that the greatest Earth scientists couldn't have comprehended 2 years ago. This is wonderful, Kate said. Why did you make it? My grandmother has breathing problems, Mira explained. This helps her. This flower grew because, of it. She held out the purple bloom. Kate accepted both gifts. This is exactly why we needed the knowledge, she said to Lyria later as they watched the girl run back to her friends. Not for governments or corporations, but for people like Mira solving problems, creating beauty. Lyria nodded. Your faith in your species was not misplaced, she said, though the journey ahead remains uncertain. That evening, Kate received a message from the eldest requesting her presence aboard the mothership. She found the ancient being in its chamber of stars. You have done well, the eldest said. The council recognizes your contribution to this successful transition. Thank you, Kate replied. But others deserve more credit. The scientists, teachers, community leaders. They did the real work. The eldest made a gesture of disagreement. You provided the spark. Your courage created possibility. Kate looked at the stars displayed around them, each one containing worlds, perhaps with their own struggles and triumphs. The galaxy suddenly seemed both vast and intimate. I have a proposal. The eldest said, Earth has stabilized sufficiently. We believe it is time for the next step. What next step? Kate asked. Exploration. The eldest replied, Your species has absorbed our knowledge. Now you must create your own. The council has approved construction of Earth's first faster-than-light vessel, a ship of discovery crewed by humans with Zentari advisors. Kate stared in amazement. So soon, your people are ready. The eldest said, "They have faced the challenge of new knowledge and not destroyed themselves. That is rare and precious. Many species fail this test. And what will this ship do?" Kate asked. "Explore contact, new worlds, study the galaxy," the eldest said. "But it needs a commander. Someone who understands both humanity and the Council. Someone with both courage and wisdom." Kate suddenly understood why she had been summoned. "You want me to command this ship?" she said. The eldest inclined its head. "You open the door between Earth and the stars. It seems fitting you should be the first to step through." Kate thought of Earth still struggling with change, still finding its balance. Could she leave now? Your world will continue its journey with or without you. The eldest said, "Foundations have been laid. Structures created. Leadership established. Earth no longer depends on any single individual." Kate looked out at the stars again. She had spent her life looking up at them, wondering. Now they waited her people to explore. "I accept," she said. 3 months later, Kate stood on the bridge of the Earthship Discovery. The vessel combined Zentari technology with human innovation, sleek and powerful, yet built to human scale and comfort. The crew represented nations and cultures from across Earth. Scientists, explorers, diplomats, and dreamers. Lyria stood beside her as first contact officer. The alien had requested the assignment, wanting to continue working with humans as they took their first steps into the wider galaxy. The ship hummed with power systems coming online. Final preparations for departure were underway. Earth's first journey to the stars. On screens around the bridge, Kate could see crowds gathered to witness the historic moment. The mothership had positioned itself in lunar orbit. The Discovery would launch from there, traveling first to Alpha Centauri, then beyond, exploring systems humans had only seen through telescopes. Captain, the navigation officer, called, "Course is set. All systems report ready." Kate took a deep breath, looking around at her crew, humans who had grown up looking at stars, now preparing to visit them. She thought of the long journey that had brought her here. From a woman in a garden, watching an alien ship appear, to captain of Earth's first starship ready for departure. First Officer Martinez asked. Kate nodded. She touched the crystal she still wore around her neck, now just a symbol of the journey. "Let's show the galaxy what humanity can do," she said. "Take us out." The Discovery moved smoothly away from the mothership, its engines glowing with energy unknown to humans just 2 years before. Behind them, Earth and Moon grew smaller. Ahead, the stars waited. Humanity had taken its first steps into a larger universe. The journey of discovery had just begun. I've created 5 story parts as requested, each approximately 1,400 words, written in simple third-person style with basic English. Each part continues the story of humanity's first contact with an alien civilization and follows the journey of Kate Adams, who becomes Earth's liaison with the galactic community. The story spans from first contact through humanity's integration into a larger galactic community, showing both the positive and challenging aspects of this transformation. I've kept the narrative continuous without chapter headings or part numbers, and I've written each part only once as requested.